another edition of Celebrity Catwalk. As always, we are giving you an incredible mix of guests, and today is no different. Now, Laura, I saw you and Gianna on the catwalk on Sunday, and you two were slaying the crowd.
We definitely had a lot of fun.
Definitely.
Yes. Gianna enjoyed modeling. She enjoys the attention. And we flew here from South Florida to walk on the catwalk. So.
Wow. So Florida all the way to New York City. I hear that you are not only a model, but you are a super successful business person who does special pet-friendly events in Florida. Is that right?
I have a company called G-Girl Productions, and I am an event coordinator for the fur baby world. That's my full-time job. So what I basically do is anywhere between 4 to 6 to 8 events a month. And all of them benefit in some form, a rescue. Right now, most of them are for Florida Yorkie rescue. And then I do several really, really big events a year. Our biggest event is the Cotillion that we do in June. Last year, we presented 75 dogs to society as debutantes or gentle fur boys.
That's really cute. Is Gianna your muse for the company?
Gianna is the G-Girl in G-Girl Productions.
Welcome, G-Girl.
Gianna, I got at 10 weeks old, and in Boca, they were doing an event. So I took her, first time I put clothes on her. They had a little contest. I stuck her on the runway. She couldn't even walk on a lead. She walked to the center, sat down and posed, and wouldn't get off the runway. She ended up winning Boca Diva. That's when I knew that the craziness started of the contest for many years. And right now, Gia's retired. I did take her out of retirement for the Winter White event here because her gown was made by Shenanigans, and it was my wedding gown that was turned into a dog gown.
Wow.
So that's why I did take her out to compete in that for the event, because it had a lot of sentimental value.
You and Gianna have so much history. So what led you to start G-Girl Productions?
It's funny, we were doing a lot of competitions, and I was telling you before when we were talking that I was one of those crazy women who used to go and pull kids' cars out of garbages, paint them, like one was a police car, and the dogs would, she has a brother and sister, they were dressed as policemen. I was dressed as a prisoner, and I have an eclectic parrot who I had in a cage in the back, who wears clothes, who had a prisoner cape on that said Alcatraz.
Wow.
And we would enter these contests. Well, we got to the point we were unbeatable. You know, how are you going to beat a crazy lady with 3 dogs and a bird that wears clothes?
You can't.
So the rescues and these events started saying, Laura, we love you to come, but could you please stop entering the contest? Because people aren't coming because they can't beat you. You know, they can't beat you.
You were that good. Wow.
And so I was banned from these contests. So then I'm like, well, what am I going to do? I love doing this. I said, well, heck, I'll do. And the first event I did was a haute couture fashion show. And we had a contest for Mr. and Mrs. Haute Couture. And that was the end. It just started. And now we do a series of Dancing with Your Fur Babies. I had 55 ladies tangoing with their dogs, holding their dogs, dipping their dogs. That was for Florida Yorkie Rescue. We filmed that. That actually got 25,000 views on Facebook because we had mustaches. We were dressed like the men. So I have my master's degree in theater, so I come up with a lot of crazy ideas.
So how often do you produce these doggy events in Florida?
My bigger events, I do 4 huge ones a year, which I'm now jumping into 6. I do the smaller events where I will host for, like Gay Pride. I hosted the contest, and G-Girl will supply the trophies. And a lot of that I do for Rescue, and we do that for free. I supply the trophies, her and I host, or we'll come and we'll be a celebrity judge. Now we judge, we don't do the contest.
You're better than that.
Well, I don't know about that. It's just that, you know, with my business and this as my career, I really don't want to be competing against the people who buy tickets to come to my events.
Of course.
You know, so.
Do you have a favorite event that you host?
I have 2. My biggest event is the Cotillion. It's done in a 5-star country club. You go, you have a 4-course meal. The dogs are served a 4-course meal, tableside, white gloves, silver tray, by the Doggy Bag Cafe. And it is, you know, $200 center pieces. It's like going to a wedding. It is a beautiful, beautiful event. But it's not my favorite. My favorite is once a year I do a salute. The first one was a salute to Broadway. This past year was a salute to classic TV. And this is a contest that, once again, is done at a country club. But they basically, the mother and fur dog will have to pick a musical or a TV show and perform, whether it be lip sync, dance, do a scene. And once they're given 100 different options. Once you pick, like we were Gilligan's Island, I was Marianne, she was Ginger. Once we pick that, nobody else can have that. So there ends up being, you know, not as big as the Cotillion, about 45 contestants, because you really have to be hardcore crazy to do this, you know, crazy fur mom. Because you're really having to perform with the dog. And to me, it's more like a dinner and a show. And it's really, and because of my theater background, I find it so entertaining.
Clearly, these events with people and their pets are really popular. Do you think it's a trend, or do you think it is a mainstay?
I think, especially in South Florida, because it is an area where people go and retire. The average age of the women and men that come to my events are anywhere between 40 to 75, because our children are grown. You know, you have the empty nest. You still want to have something to nurture. So your fur baby becomes your child. So no, I don't think it's something that's going to stop, because, you know, they love you so unconditional. They're just so precious, you know, that I really think it's something that's going to, I think it's going to grow. It's going to catch on even more.
I hope so.
Yeah.
What's next for you and Gianna?
Well, we have a lot of events coming up. We're working on the Cotillion. We are working on our Mad Hatter Tea Party.
Ooh, can't wait.
Yes, that's our 4th annual Mad Hatter Tea Party. We just signed now with VIP television, so all of our big events will be filmed for a 45-minute show for the Cotillion, for our tea party. So this is very exciting. It's from anywhere from Key West to Orlando. This will be seen. Wow. So we're working on that. Couple fashion shows, the Pet Expo. I have 2 fashion shows, and a couple things I don't want to give away because they're new.
Ooh, secrets.
So that's going to be fun. But I do want to give a shout out to a couple people in Florida. First, Shenanigans for the gown. Also the designers, Julie Lancaster, Katie's Closet, and Doggy Market, because they all made gorgeous dresses for Gia, and Dana too, and also Lap of Luxury. That is Gia's groomer. She goes once a week, and he'd kill me if I didn't say hi to him. And of course, our favorite Rescue, Florida Yorkie Rescue. We love them. We love doing events for them.
We love you. So thank you so much, Laura.
Thank you for having us. It was such a pleasure. Gianna, say thank you.
I heard you, Gianna. Thank you, guys. We are thrilled to have an incredibly talented designer here with us who just so happens to have made pet fashion one of her many passions. It's the woman behind Kaylee's Closet brand, Marina Rangel. Thank you so much for being here, Marina.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So you just dazzled us on the catwalk on Sunday. I saw all of your designs. They were so beautiful.
Thank you so much. I was really, really excited to be here.
Great. How would you describe Kaylee's Closet?
Kaylee's Closet is a passion of mine that developed through just when Kaylee Ann came along into my life. She is my little 4.5-pound Yorkie. She is amazing. The minute I put an item on her, she pranced around the house like she was the queen diva of the town. And so from then on, I started taking pictures of her, and she started to model for me. And she's a natural. So naturally, I started to design items for her just because I wanted her to look cute and comfortable and most of all, adorable. And so I grabbed my camera and just started snapping pictures away. And that's how it started.
You live in Texas.
Yes, ma'am.
Does New York inspire you creatively?
Oh, New York is an inspiration in itself. Okay, I know New York is the fashion wonder of the world,
Yes,
I would
it
say. So just being able to come to New York several times a year, even once in a lifetime, is a big deal for me. Just because, you know, I am a Texas-born woman, and so I've never been, and I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. The people, the sights, the culture, just, it's wonderful.
So you just come to New York and soak it all up.
I do. I do. I do. I love it, and I hope to be back really soon.
What's the most amount of time you spend on a garment?
Actually, I can spend anywhere from a couple of hours to days or even weeks, just depending on the mood that I am and what kind of design that I want to create. So if it's something simple, take me a couple of hours. If it's something majorly out of the, you know, just to sort of wow people, I will go and travel place to place just to find the perfect jewel, the perfect lace, anywhere from silk to burlap. I can basically become, it can turn into a great design, and then just over the top. I love over the top, so.
Wow. Where do you get your inspiration?
I do get my inspiration, I'm sorry, from Kaylee. You know, she, as I work and design, she is right there with me. So she can make any kind of little, wiggle her tail, you know, shake her little self around, and I'm just like, oh, it's so cute. So whatever I put on her, really every item that I create, I actually try it on her, and I want to see what it looks like on her, just so that I know what it's going to look like on somebody else's dog. And so if I love the way it looks on her, I'm inspired by that. I'm like, okay, somebody else's dog is going to look beautiful in this. And so there you go.
So any little mannerism that Kaylee does, it's like, that's it.
It is.
The way you wag your tail, I love it.
Oh my gosh. She has a personality that I have no idea. I had no idea at all. It's my first time ever owning a Yorkie, so, you know, I've heard so much. But she is amazing. She's like a little girl. And she's very finicky, and so she's very prim and proper.
Aren't we all?
Of course. And very prim and proper, so I know what she likes and she doesn't like. And she is a diva, let me tell you.
Where do you see Kaylee's Closet in 5 years?
Well, basically, I've often heard, like most people when they start their business, the first 5 years of any business is a true test of its survival. Okay, so for me, since I've been in the business about 3 years, I feel like I still need to keep pushing forward. You know, I'm still going to work hard. I'm still going to take as much in as I can and learn as much as I can. But in reality, my main goal is not just only to make a beautiful product, okay? My main goal is to provide a beautiful product that's gonna help the shelters, help raise money, not just for the New York City shelters, but maybe one day all over the country in different states. That would be amazing for me.
Cool. So last question, do you have a favorite fabric or color fabric that you love working with the most?
I do, but I don't stick to one. As you can see in some of my designs, I use a little bit of everything. Yes, kind of like, you know, the Gone with the Wind when she pulls down the drape and just makes this gorgeous, gorgeous dress out of it. So I'm kind of that way. I kind of look for different patterns and textures and just anything that is different. I can just pick it up and create something beautiful with it. And I love it. I love the hunt, you know, for that perfect fabric and, you know, uniqueness. That's what I strive for.
Paws in the City will be back in May 2016. Will you be on board?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I will be back in New York.
Yes, Kaylee's Closet.
Yeah, so I'm thrilled and I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you so much for being here, Marina.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Until next time, check us out on CelebrityCatwalk.com. Paws in the City 2016, CelebrityCatwalk.com. Furry fashionistas will once again be hitting the catwalk for charity. Designers are currently being considered for Paws in the City 2016 in New York City. If you would like to participate in Celebrity Catwalk's next Paws in the City event, here are some important details that you need to know. Paws in the City weekend will take place in New York City the weekend of May 20th, 2016. That's the weekend before Memorial Day. Designs are due in New York City by April 15th, 2016. Designers pick models from approved Celebrity Catwalk model roster. Designers also create a minimum of 10 designs, not 7, not 8, 10 as a minimum. Why 10? Because the fashion show itself is made up of each designer, so it's pretty much like you're having your own scene in your own show. So designers have total control of everything of what they show on the catwalk. Isn't that cool? Celebrity Catwalk does months of promoting the show, and it's participating designers. So if you want your designs to hit the catwalk for charity, we look forward to hearing from you. Check us out on CelebrityCatwalk.com.
Welcome back to Celebrity Catwalk. I'm Stephanie Matera, and today I have a special guest with me. Her name is Jenny Hubbard. Many of you know about the Newtown tragedy that took place 3 years ago, and it reverberated around the world and definitely here at home in the United States. Jenny took a tragic loss, a very, very great loss, and has turned it into a compassionate project to honor Catherine Violet Hubbard and to spread kindness. And she's here to tell us more about that project. Jenny, thank you so much for being here with me
Thank
today.
you for having me.
I'm so glad. So I know that Catherine's legacy is very important, and really the foundation in the sanctuary is really the embodiment of who she was. So can you tell us about who she was?
So she loved animals. And she was just one of those kids where they were furry or slimy or fuzzy, stuffed. She loved them all. And she didn't really, she treated them all the same and really just wanted to take care of them.
Wow.
So we figured when we were planning and writing her obituary, we had said donations needed to go to the animal center to care for the animals that she loved in lieu of flowers.
Right away.
And so that decision really flowed into creating the sanctuary.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And so you have 34 acres in Newtown, Connecticut.
Mm-hmm. The state conveyed the 34 acres, surprisingly, so it's only been 3 years.
Yes.
So after we spent a year working with the state, and they vetted us because we had said we want to make sure that the foundation getting the land wasn't something that was going to be short-lived, or so we had to go through a whole business planning process, and they vetted us out, and then they a year ago, September, they conveyed the property.
And so it transferred officially to the foundation.
Yes.
And so it's really exciting because you also already have renderings of the sanctuary, and you're working with PH architects to bring that to life. One of my favorite parts is the terracotta roofing in the center of the sanctuary that represents Catherine's beautiful red hair. So I love that so much.
We loved when they showed us the design, because there's an educational component, and then there's the rescue and the animal care component. And the two buildings are flanked, or the pavilion is in the center of these two beautiful buildings, and the colonnades that connect them are symbolic of her arms, reaching out to animals and people alike.
That's incredible. It doesn't get more beautiful than that. One of the other questions that I had for you was, where do you find your inspiration as you are developing this? Because it's so new, and you're new to philanthropy, but I know that the passion's so deep. But can you tell us what your day-to-day inspiration is like?
You know, a lot of it comes from Catherine and the cues that she and her life give us. So some of the different programs and events that we've already hosted, because we're not waiting to build a building, are really based on, is this something that she would do? Is this something that she would love? And if that's the case, then you know, we move forward with it. We've assembled a children's board. So we brought together, it's up to 13 now, kids from 2nd grade to 8th grade. And in one way, shape, or form, they have symbolized something that Catherine would stand for. And the way that they have been asked to join the board is Matt and I look at them and say, oh my gosh, you remind us so much of Catherine.
There's something there.
And we bring them together, and they look at everything that we're doing. They give us recommendations on our programming, our design, our marketing. And so we really want to stay grounded in seeing the sanctuary through the innocent eyes of a child.
That's incredible. And I think that's what's really going to make it come to life and really represent her.
I think so.
Yeah. So one of the programs that you're working on is the Roots and Shoots program with Dr. Jane Goodall, which is crazy awesome, because she is obviously just an amazing human being, and she's really helped people understand and appreciate the emotional intelligence in animals. So what has that been like to start bringing that together?
Well, it's so exciting because we've known since its inception that Jane Goodall and what she stands for and her principles are so much of the sanctuary and the foundation. So her Roots and Shoots program really is kids driving decisions and working on projects for things that they think are important, whether it be their community or their environment or animals. And so we knew we were going to launch Roots and Shoots. But when I spoke with Jane Goodall's organization and I had said, how do we do this without having a building? They have been so instrumental in helping us walk through the process of how to launch a Roots and Shoots program. So in January, we're going to bring the community together, and we're going to walk through the tools that they've shared with us and do a whole mapping and engagement so that the kids can come up with whatever campaigns they want to work on in 2016. And it's been huge because, you know, Jane Goodall's organization and all of the organizations that help us, they are willing to spend their time and their resources to really train us and teach us, because this is new. 3 years ago, we weren't
planning this. Exactly.
So the fact that they would share their expertise with us, and they could share it with anybody in the whole world, and they're sitting down with us and saying, let me help you walk through so that you're successful. It's incredible.
It is incredible. It's also a testament to your movement is about kindness. And Catherine would always whisper to the butterflies, tell your friends that I am kind. And so I think with this program, people want to get involved because they want to help spread that as well. And it's important. It really is important work. The sanctuary, we've talked about it before, will really create a safe haven for people, somewhere to quiet your mind, get away from the worries of the world. Even as adults, become a child again. Connect with nature, connect with animals.
We just had this weekend, last weekend, we had a settling in at the sanctuary, and it was one of these events where it just sort of evolved into, wouldn't it be cool if?
Yeah.
And it turned into an afternoon where families could come and help us tuck in the sanctuary for winter. And it was so innocent, so sweet. We made bird feeders out of hollowed out oranges so that all the materials we used, nobody had to go back and clean up.
Yes.
And they would impact the animals as they tried to get ready to cozy in for winter. And what was so touching is to watch people walk up the hill, families walking up the hill where, you know, most people talk about Black Friday shopping or doing whatever on Sunday, running around to get ready for the holidays. And they came and they spent time together as a family. And they made bird feeders, and then they walked along the paths and found places to hang it, and to see people taking pictures of their kids hanging from branches. That, to me, that's exactly what we're trying to create, because it's a time to just recenter and be still. I've gotten emails from parents or people that walk the sanctuary, and they just say it's just, there's something about it up there where they can just go and be quiet, because we don't have that anymore.
No, we don't. And we've seen a lot of things in the news as of late, and it seems to keep happening. And so I think places like the sanctuary, the Catherine Violet Hubbard Sanctuary, is going to really be a way to kind of interrupt all that noise and kind of bring people back to what's important, which is each other, animals, nature.
Well, we had said that if we can create a place where, whether it's nature or mucking a stall, or helping with one of the dogs or cats that's on site, or helping a rescue accept transport at the vet intake center, if there's something that draws someone there that they otherwise might be holed up in a basement or sitting in front of a TV playing a video game or doing something and not connecting, and they feel like they have a place that they can go to, then just maybe we've changed the trajectory of someone's life.
That's right.
And if we can do that, then we're honoring Catherine.
I completely agree. On that note, that's so perfect. I'm going to say thank you for being here with me. And if you want to learn more about the Catherine Violet Hubbard Foundation, you can visit their website.
It's www.cvhfoundation.org.
That's great. And also on Facebook, they have great updates and ways that you can get involved attending events. And they're going to have some walking tours on the property. And it's going to be an exciting time because the sanctuary hasn't been built yet. So you can be a part of it. Check her out and check the organization out. Thank you for being with us. I'm Stephanie Matera.